Alright guys, Pierre just put out a new ad. It's called Why You Can't Afford a Fourth Liberal Term. So this is put out just less than an hour ago. So let's have a look at what he's got to say. It's about 4.5 minutes long, and we'll talk about it after like usual.
So 10 years ago, Liberals said they'd bring affordable housing. Since then, they've doubled the rent, doubled mortgage costs, doubled the needed down payment, double housing trouble. And today, Mark Carney doubled down on exactly the same Liberal policies that gave us the worst housing inflation in all of the G7. Quick recap. When Justin Trudeau took office, it took $450,000 to buy the average home. Now that amount has gone up by well over 70%. And with higher interest rates brought on by overspending by the government, it's about double the mortgage payment that you have to make. Toronto and Vancouver are now the most expensive housing markets in all of North America and among the worst in the entire world. We have the fewest homes per capita of any country in the G7, even though we have by far the most land to build on. When I was housing minister, you could pay off a mortgage in less than 25 years. Now, in our biggest cities, it takes longer than that just to save up for a down payment. So today, Mark Carney announced new plans to spend tens of billions of dollars of your tax money. And of course, it won't build houses, it will build bureaucracy. He even brought back the failed housing minister, Sean Fraser, who gave us the worst housing costs in the history of the country, and who was also the immigration minister that overpopulated our country, leading to the housing shortage. Their record is to inflate demand for housing with out-of-control immigration and money printing, and to block supply by building up the local bureaucracies with federal tax dollars that prevent builders from building. Now, what's the solution? Well, first of all, after the lost Liberal decade of rising housing costs, it sure isn't to put the same Liberal ministers, Liberal MPs, Liberal strategists, and Liberal promises in power to do it all over again. We need a new Conservative government that will change things and a real plan to build the homes, not the bureaucracy. And so here's our plan. First, I'll axe the federal sales tax on new homes to save you up to $65,000 on a purchase price and up to $3,000 on annualized mortgage payments. Second, we're going to sell off 6,000 federal buildings, thousands of acres of federal land to build new homes. Third, we're going to incentivize municipalities to speed up permits, free up land, and cut development charges so that builders can build faster and you can get a home over your head. Fourth, we need boots, not suits. We're putting all of our educational resources into white-collar office job education when in fact we need the people who swing the hammers, that lay the foundations, that frame the sticks that make up homes. And so we're going to back 350,000 positions in trade schools and union halls to get Red Seal apprentice positions building homes. We'll bring back the $4,000 apprenticeship grant to build. And finally, we're going to unlock billions of dollars in new home building investment in the private sector by allowing anyone who reinvests their capital gains in Canada to pay zero tax. That's right, you'll pay zero tax on capital gains if you reinvest the money in building in Canada, including building homes here in Canada. Look, we don't need more government bureaucracy. Government is not the solution. Government is the problem. We have the builders, we have the land, we have the lumber. We have the incredible workers to do the job. The problem is that we have the second slowest permits in all of the OECD, and most of the cost of a new home today is government delays, taxes, fees, charges, and other bureaucratic burdens. By removing those burdens, we can reverse the disastrous decade that the Liberals gave us. Let's not go back. Let's not make the same mistakes all over again just because there's a leader who now has a different blue pair of socks rather than Justin Trudeau. They stand for exactly the same things. They'll get exactly the same results. You deserve a home. That's the Canadian promise. You work hard, you get a beautiful house on a safe street, protected by brave troops under a proud flag. That's why I'm in politics. Let's bring it home.
So what does all this mean? We're going to build houses, we're going to protect the border, etc., etc., etc. The middle class is going to improve. Because the more houses there are, the more the house price could come down, because there's not going to be, a 10 family bidding war on one house anymore. There's going to be, and that's the thing, right? Like when you have a house that's worth, say, $400,000, and then one family says, well, we'll do $425, and then the next one's, well, I really want this one, so it's $450, and then it eventually ends up selling for like $500 or $550. There's too many people looking for too little homes. So you need to build homes. You need to stop mass immigration. And then all of a sudden, the housing price will come down because there's going to be less bidding on those houses. Right? It's all just economics. And Pierre is much better at this than Mark Carney. And people who still want to say, well, Mark Carney's got the resume. Mark Carney, which I'm sure he forgets to leave off his resume, was an economic advisor for Trudeau since COVID, since 2020. Even CBC, liberal biased media, CBC even admits it. Go look it up. It's in there. It's in the Financial Times. It's in the CBC. They all admit it. They don't even hide it anymore. Carney was an economic advisor. Mark Carney also advised Chrystia Freeland to freeze people's bank accounts during the protests. Yeah. That's who Mark Carney is. And I know there's liberals who agree with it. But if their bank accounts were frozen because they protested, they'd be screaming fascism. We all know it. But hey, it's okay. It's okay to do it if the liberals do it, right? Bunch of biased morons, but who cares? Because their numbers are depleting. Did you see? Let me see if I can find this here for you guys. Oh, this is so funny. Mark Carney was in Georgetown today, which is a small town in Ontario. Oh, who has it here? I think the Pleb posted it. Let's see if I can find this real quickly here for you guys. So I should have had it. I wasn't really planning on bringing it up, but let's see here if I can find this really quickly. I know he posted it today. Yeah, here it is. So it's actually from Rebel News. So Mark Carney packed a bar tonight. Pierre Poilievre packed an entire airport hangar in a liberal part of the country. Are you connecting the dots? So look at this, right? The top video is Pierre. The bottom one is Mark Carney. Yeah, that's a full bar. This is an airport hangar. Right? Like, what do you think holds more people? And again, they showed a lineup. Oh, look, here's a lineup outside of Mark Carney. There was like 50 people. Pierre's lineups are around the block. In Winnipeg, in Hamilton, in Toronto, in Fredericton, in British Columbia. Conservative parts, like North York, I think is a conservative. I think it's a conservative riding. But Stony Creek and Hamilton, that's a liberal riding. Fredericton, Atlantic Canada, apparently they hate the conservatives out there. But then why is he getting so many people? But in Georgetown, Mark Carney could fill up a bar. That's it. But apparently they're so popular. Apparently that's the guy to lead the country, according to the polls. But it really doesn't look like that when you look at what's happening with the rally. Now, do rallies decide elections? No, but neither do polls. And if you watch my last video that I made earlier today, someone exposed one of the questions that they asked on Angus Reid. And it was the dumbest thing ever. Go check it out. It's insane. Conservatives are, of course, there's more of a recency bias now because the questions they're asking are insane. Conservatives are going to hang up, they're going to delete the email, or they're going to throw the poll in the garbage. It's absolutely nuts. There's so much manipulation. CBC comes out with this article. Some anonymous person told them that the campaign for the Conservatives is falling apart. I wonder who the CBC wants to win. Do they want the Liberal guy to win, or do they want the guy who's going to defund them to win? So they have a clear bias. But it's insane. But anyway, like Pierre said, we need to build the homes. We need to make sure that we have enough workers to build those homes. It's all got to be put together, and he's the guy to do it. But let me know what you guys think. Please don't be shy. I really enjoy engaging with you guys. Please also don't forget to like and subscribe, as it really does help me grow this channel. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll be back shortly with a new video.